All right. Hi, everybody. How's it going? Today, we're going to do a little quiz video on the foot, the landmarks of the foot. We're going to do also articulations, left or right, and some other features about the foot. So again, it's going to be quiz style. So I'll write some questions down, point things out, number them. You can pause the video, take your time to answer it, and then move on to the next question. After we've gone through every question from this point of view, I'll answer what I asked you, and then we'll move to another angle and talk about some more features. All right, so let's get started. Number one, I'm gonna ask you, is it left or is it right? And again, pause the video, take your time, answer the question, and then come back and move on to the next one. All right, number two is gonna be this guy back here. Number three is going to be this guy. Number four will be this one. Number five will be this guy right here. Number six will be this one right here. Number seven, ooh, that's a weird seven, sorry about that, will be that one. And then number eight will be that guy. All right, and then this guy right here, the whole bone itself is called what? That will be for number 9. And then this portion will be number 10. This portion will be 11. And then this portion will be 12. All right, we'll move on. This one will be 13. Here's 14. And then finally, here's 15. So again, here are all the questions. Pause the video, take your time to answer them all, and then come back and we'll go through all of them. All right, so let's get these answers going. So for number one, left versus right, what I look for mainly is going to be my big toe. So I'm going to find the toe that has only a proximal and distal phalanx, which we'll get to later for 13, 14, and 15. And it's going to be kind of the biggest, thickest metatarsal and kind of toe looking thing. So this guy always has to be medial or towards my midline. So I'm going to take that, kind of visualize this, take it out of the screen, put it on myself, and see where that big toe lines up on my body. And you'll see that this guy is going to be a left foot. All right, number two is this big guy back here. This guy is going to be your calcaneus. I'm just going to abbreviate just for time. Calcaneus is the big bone in the back here. Number three is going to be right next to it, and that's going to be your cuboid. So the calcaneus and the cuboid butt up right next to each other. Number four is going to be this big guy sitting on top of the foot here, part of your ankle, and that is going to be your talus or talus. Butting up right next to that one is going to be your navicular. So your navicular will be number 5. Number 6, 7, and 8 are going to be your cuneiforms. But specifically, number 6 will be your lateral cuneiform. 7, I'm just going to bring this one out here. 7 is going to be your intermediate cuneiform. And then number 8 will be your medial cuneiform. So again, that big toe is going to be medial side. So your medial cuneiform will be on your medial side. Intermediate is going to be in between your lateral medial, and then lateral is going to be right next to your cuboid and on the lateral side of your foot. All right. Moving on to number 9. So number 9 is going to be your metatarsals. So each one of these is your metatarsal, and they're each numbered 1, starting with your big toe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ending with your pinky toe. So then we get more specific for specific landmarks on your metatarsal. Number 10 is going to be the base of the metatarsal. Number 11 will be the shaft of your metatarsal. And then number 12 is going to be the head of the metatarsal. And so if we're talking about answering on a practical or something like that, if this portion, let's say here, was labeled, you'd say the base of your first metatarsal. If this one was labeled, you'd say the head of your 1, 2, 3rd metatarsal. So you have to be specific when you're talking about the specific landmarks on specific metatarsals. All right, moving on to 13. 13, 14, and 15 are going to be looking at your phalanges. So 13 is going to be your proximal phalanx. I'll put a little pH there for proximal phalanx. Number 14 will be your middle phalanx. And then 15 will be your distal phalanx. All right. So I'm going to pause the video here, get a different angle, and then we'll go through some more questions. All right, so now we're going to be looking at a different angle of the foot here. We're going to be looking at the arches of the foot. So first, let's see. First, we'll be looking at this arch. So what arch would this guy be? Well, I forget what number we're on, but let's just say number 1 for the different angle. So what arch is this guy? Pause the video. Tell me what you think, and we'll come back. All right, so this arch is going to be your medial longitudinal arch, which will be made up of your calcaneus, which is this guy back here, your talus, which is this guy sitting on top, your navicular, which is this one, and then your cuneiforms, which would run along this way, but we can only see this guy right here, which is your medial cuneiform. And then your metatarsals 1 through 3. And again, here we can only see metatarsal number 1. But this right here is your medial longitudinal arch. All right, I'm going to pause again, get a different angle, and we'll come back. All right, so here we have a different angle again. On the other side of the foot, the lateral side of the foot, and we're going to be looking at this arch right here, this guy, and we'll call this number 2. So again, pause the video, take a second, think about what it is, and come back and we'll answer it. All right, so again, since I said we're on the lateral side of the foot, this is going to be your lateral longitudinal arch. And this guy is going to be made up of your calcaneus, which is this guy right here, your cuboid, which is this one butting up right next to your calcaneus, like I said before, and then your metatarsals 4 and 5. So here's metatarsal 4, and here's metatarsal 5. And these guys are going to make up your lateral longitudinal arch. All right, let's get a different angle and then we'll come back. All right, here we have another angle. Now we're looking top down on the foot, and this will be your final arch. So number 3, we'll call it, and it's going to be the guy that runs across like that. So pause the video, come back, and we'll figure out the answer. All right, so this guy right here is going to be your transverse arch. And this guy is going to be made up of your cuboid, which is going to be this guy right here, your cuneiforms, so that includes your lateral, intermediate, and middle cuneiform, and then the base of all of your metatarsals. So all of these guys. And so this section right here will be your transverse arch. All right, get another angle and talk about one more thing. All right, so finally, we're going to talk about some bones that articulate with the foot. Specifically, we're going to be talking about the ankle joint. So there are going to be 2 bones that articulate with the foot. I'm going to do my best to draw them here. Just a rough little sketch here. So there's going to be one comes up on this side, and then one that's over here. And I'll draw this one a little better. All right. So first, what's this bone? We'll call this another number 1 just for this new angle. And then this guy will be number 2. So what bones are these 2 bones that are going to articulate with the talus right here? This guy's your talus sitting on top. Pause the video, come back, and then we'll figure it out. All right, so number 1, here we're looking at a bone that sits right on top of your talus and one that has kind of this little bony extension here coming off on the medial side. So here's our big toe, our medial side. And so this right here is going to be the medial malleolus of your tibia. So this right here is going to be your tibia. And then on this side, if this was our medial malleolus over here, then this guy is going to be our lateral malleolus of our fibula. Of our fibula. And so those are going to be the 2 bones that articulate with your talus to create that hinge joint at your ankle. So yeah, that should be all the stuff you need to know for the foot. If you have any questions, feel free to email us, any one of the TAs. There's a contact sheet on the Sakai page. Or feel free to ask in lab or anything like that. So that's the foot. I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks.